Hey everybody, welcome. Just finalizing some stuff here. Hey JB, checking in because it's been a bit since I've done this. Got a 0? What the heck? Get out of here, Nero. Okay. Things are sounding. There we go. Anyways, seeing this like chart board, right? Also, let me know if the music's too loud or anything like that, or it's been some time since we've done this. Also, I want to shout out. Oh, that's how I shout people out. There you go, JB. Okay. So basically, the way this is going to work is this has gone through a few of the games from 2025 that are down here. You can see them down here. Basically, the goal is take some of these games, rank them S through F, and then add some other games. Hey, Becky. Howdy, everybody. Don't forget to do your chat rules. Oh. But yeah, so I'm gonna go through here and I'm gonna basically rank these games as I've played them. I'm only gonna rank games that I've actually played, even if I haven't beat them yet. Oh, new subs. Thank you. For the chat cat. Oh, actually, where's my... I'm looking at him. Where's my little guy? It's been a long time. My little pet. And we'll see. Where'd he go? 1 on the 20. And Becky. That's rough. Yeah, I can't find my little Twitch. Okay. Chins. Apparently, I think if you go to the stream and you click on the stream, I think you can select Pando from the corner there. And now he just kind of hangs here. What the heck? Gotta play with him too long since he's in, but there's a whole little Christmas thing going on over there. So cute. None of you guys can see what I'm talking about. Anyways, we're gonna get all of our big opinions out of the way here. So, first starting off just with what's here. Oh, I guess before I start, So I'm planning on going back to the Wednesday streams again. Now they're starting the new year. In February, the Keshi Cancer people are going to be starting to show up again. That's going to be fun. But yeah, continue to do like some chill stream. Back to our games finish. I'm going to put Avowed at D. I did not finish Avowed. It's big. I did not finish Avowed. I didn't want to. I thought it was, so when I first played it, I thought it was interesting how they had changed third person combat. That's something that had always felt a little strange. I still don't think they quite executed it quite well, and while the story had interesting places to go with the world that it had, just found the game itself to be lacking in so many areas that I didn't really expect these games to still be struggling with. You know, Avowed was done by same people who did Obsidian. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. They were done by Obsidian. I was just a bit disappointed with them. I thought it would be a little bit better. In any case, I never finished it. I think there was one point where I got to one area, I beat all the bad guys in that area, and then afterwards I was kind of like, wow, you look around and you can kind of feel how dead the environment is. No other reactions, no people in the streets. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, that's fine. Of these games, I didn't play any of these. I didn't play Night Rain. It's not actually a FromSoft studio game, but I heard it was really good, a lot of fun. I just wasn't really interested in that. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, I've heard a lot of great things about this game. That's on my list this year to play as a sit down and dive into this kind of game. Because it's a game that is such an in-depth RPG. I only scratched the surface of it, and I could kind of tell like, oh, there's a lot of systems here. I'll come back to this later. But I'm interested in coming back. I can't give my opinion on that one yet. What's interesting is like it's I find it funny how many of these games came down here. When I look at my Steam replay for the year, the median game was 60. No, median Steam game was 4 games. I played 61 games on Steam last year, so there's that. Atomfall, I only got to play a very little bit of it. Seems like it's still undercooked. Needs to be worked on. Kind of like a Fallout survival game, more about building environments and things like that than anything else. Dying Light the Beast. I would give this a B. Now, Dying Light, the first one, I think is an A game. Very good. Dying Light 2, I would put like around a C. Dying Light the Beast, I think, took us back in the direction of A. There were some little things that kind of bothered me, like it was so very clear that they wanted you to just focus on the story missions, not to really level up outside of that. Where to me, one of the fun things of Dying Light was feeling your character get better, their stamina increase over time, they get more efficient at attacks, unlocking weapons. The Beast was closer to that. I know they've made some balance changes. I've got to return to that, but we'll see. This game's not out yet. Rise of Hydra, I don't believe so. Pokemon ZNA, wasn't really interested in. I think the Game Freak has a lot of work to do and needs to really get back into, I don't know, innovating in their games. Dispatch, I've heard a lot of really great things about. I know that there were a lot of people talking about it. It got its hype. I played a lot of Telltale games when they all came out. And so I really feel like this is a kind of itch that I'm not interested in scratching too much. Maybe the actual mechanics of the game, like being a hero manager, having heroes with different stats and putting them in places. If that was a longer game with mechanics and a business to operate, I might be more interested in that. But just as it is more of a story, not too interested in. Dispatch, Dana. Hello, also welcome. I know people were really talking a lot about Dispatch, and I've actually came up on a lot of Game of the Year lists for people who I really follow and respect their opinion on. So I'm sure I'll get to it. I just kind of like know what I'm gonna get, and I'm just not interested in that right now. Fable's not out yet. Wolf of Wall Street 2 is not out yet. Sorry, the Wolf Among Us. Ninja Gaiden, haven't played. Ghost of Yotei. So Ghost of Tsushima was a great game. Ghost of Yotei, the sequel, I haven't played, mainly because my daughter has my PlayStation now, and I don't really. Um, but I also wasn't really like looking to play this one too much. I want to get to it, and I'm sure that I will. Um, but I feel differently about this one. The mechanics of the first game I thought were really great. They kind of crystallized a lot of things in action games that are really, really fun, and kind of finalized them in a lot of ways. But the second one, the story, I wasn't as interested in. Let's see, haven't played any of these. Dynasty Warriors, Mafia, Fatal Fury, Pirate Yakuza I heard was really good. Is Us I heard was really good. Prime I heard was not. Sniper Elite Resistance, I played that on Xbox Live. Man, I did spend a lot of time on that game. I would still give it a C. I did not care about the story. I did not care about much of the game. The Sniper Elite games are always really fun shooters. Just for the sense of like being a sniper and doing missions, covert missions, things like that. What I most liked to do in this game was be an enemy sniper and go after players who are on their own missions. That was fun. I think I realized this year that I really like hunting a lot. And it gives you, Sniper Elite would give you that real sense of like hunting. Really fun, cool multiplayer, but kind of repetitive. If you play one of those games, you've played them all, they're all the same. The Outer Worlds 2, I have not completed yet. And I'm gonna give it a B. I would give the Outer Worlds 1 like a high C. This is gonna be on low B for me. So far, I've liked the Outer Worlds 2. There has been so much dialogue that I immediately got the flaw that was like, you like to skip the dialogue. And I'm like, yep, you sure are talking a lot. The story writing is much better. The setting is much better, even for like inspiration for our campaign. I feel like just the setup, I think fits a lot more, even with what we're going for planning for in the future. Mechanics are improved, but I still feel like Obsidian is maybe trying to capture lightning in a bottle again instead of trying to like develop something new. Everything they did in Outer Worlds 2 felt like all good quality of life improvements, and it all felt like a good culmination of everything they did in New Vegas and in early Fallout. But it doesn't feel like it's evolved into anything else. It doesn't feel like I'm playing it and I'm like, this is crazy. I'm not seeing this anywhere else. I just, as lower in, I guess in higher realism as Fallout is compared to Outer Worlds, when I played those games, I felt like, wow, this is doing something else is done. So I will go back and finish Outer Worlds 2, I'm sure. Yeah, I anticipate that might be the flaw I get. Yeah, that was one, because man, these people, they talk and they've got a lot to say, and it's great because it fills you in the story, but I'm like, okay, get to the point already, come on. Metal Gear Solid Delta, I'm gonna put this at B as well. I haven't finished it yet either. I'm planning on going back to that in the streams too. Still one of my favorite games of all time, Metal Gear Solid. It's a pretty good remake, pretty faithful to the original. There are still some things like it rides that line between a remake. I would put the first slightly above the second. Oh, in terms of Outer Worlds, wow. See, I didn't like in the first Outer Worlds. It was a little shorter to me, and also I didn't like how the gunplay felt. Gunplay felt like you really needed to slow down time in order to really get good shots, and because of that, I never wanted to use any of the other special powers that you would get. So it kind of felt like I was locked into the slowdown time. That's interesting. I definitely think the second one's harsher when it comes to skills you can choose and things like the limitations in that sense. 'Cause that was a shock for me. But anywho, Metal Gear Solid, the remake, Delta, it's kind of rides that line between like it's not quite a remake of the game. My love of Parvati and Max put it over the edge. Oh, I miss Parvati. It's not quite a remake because it's like they really tried to make it one for one. I really wish they would have taken the time to maybe refine some of the movements, some of the mechanics a little bit, modernize them a little bit in a way. But I still think it's a great representation of a once in a lifetime game. Let's see here. All right, Expedition 33. We'll put an A tier for now. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Then we got all these other games here. I did play Splitgate 2 with my daughter. I'd put that one in B as well. A great co-op game. Wait, no, Splitgate? That's the wrong thing I'm thinking of. Nope. I did play Splitgate 2, but I put that at C. It's like a Halo shooter if you've ever played that before, except that there are portals, so it's like Portals with Halo. Pretty fun arena shooter. I just didn't really like the direction they went with like some of their classes and things like that. So what I plan to do now, because this little list on here doesn't have all the stuff that I'm gonna go through my Steam and look at the rest of the games that I've got, because okay, first look here at Marvel Rivals. Just here we go. Choose files. There we go. Marvel Rivals. We're really going heavily in the B areas here. I don't know. I think it's gonna be B. Oh man, now I'm opening too many things here. As a shooter, so I didn't put Expedition 33 in S tier. We'll talk about that later. But, Marvel Rivals, I think at the end of the day, if you told me as a kid there's a game where I could play as like 50 different Marvel superheroes and they all had pretty good representation of their abilities, and I could have them fight against each other and do cool battles in cool places, I'd be like, whoa, sign me up. That sounds incredible. I think it's a good shooter, a good hero game. I think there's an overall design philosophy that NetEase has that's much more focused on how they can maximize their profits than they are about like the longevity of this game. I can see them like in another year from now adding 6 or 7 more heroes, adding 20 to 30 skins for each of the heroes, and it becoming super oversaturated. And my issue with the game was the level of changes that they would be implementing were so frequent that it kind of was like shaking things up for the sake of shaking things up, you know? That's still a very good game. Overall, by the way, like S tier is like one of the greatest games of all time. A is like you must play this game. It's an incredible game. B is like good game. I would recommend playing it. C is like it's decent if you're interested in these types of things, like Sniper Elite. Had fun hunting people. D is like I really wouldn't recommend it, unless you're a big fan or something like that. But it still needs more work. And then F is like a failure of a game, would not play again. So yeah, getting into the A and S is like super tough, obviously. Then we've got so these are just games that I've played this year. I'm gonna work on here, not just the games that specifically came out this year. I had gotten into more Helldivers at the start of this year. Um, Start of last year. I'm gonna put Helldivers at the front of B, above these other guys. Let's reorder this a little bit here. Helldivers is really close to A, and I think like it's, if it wasn't because I feel like you're severely missing out in this game if you're not playing with a squad of people. That's the only real difference. That like there are some games, almost all these other games can be really enjoyed by yourself. Helldivers is one where like if you've got a team of people, you've got people you play with, it can easily be S tier, A tier up there. I think because I only occasionally play and very irregularly with other people, it's kind of hard. But every time I jump into that game, every couple of months, there's new updates. I'm always surprised by like, wow, they're still doing this. I know recently they just announced they want to make 16 player games where like instead of just your squad, there are other squads on the planet who are also doing things. That's super cool. I like Helldivers a lot. Great game. Metaphor ReFantasio. I have not completed this game. Um, this is another one where like I'm gonna put this at C for now. If you like these kinds of games, I think if you like slow RPGs with plenty of time to build up the characters and abilities that grow over time. Oh, misplaced your phone. But it's, I can see what it's going for, but I could tell that I was going to need to invest a lot of time, much like I mentioned with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. One of those games where it's like, okay, you require all my time. Don't want that right now. That's okay. It was very fun, and I like the questions that it was asking, as opposed to a lot of like RPGs that might be a little bit more simply about like story of the heroes and them doing their things. This one was had much more to do about like the questions of government. What is power? What is authority? How do the people grant their will? Yeah. Intravenous 2. Even as a, oh man, okay, so this is a game where like I would normally put this here. Like it's a good game if you like that kind of stuff. I'm gonna put this up here. Intravenous 2 is a top-down stealth shooter. You've maybe seen me play it before. It captures the stealth essence of like Metal Gear Solid in a top-down shooter in a way that very few games do. They added custom support for workshops. Just a very fun game. I think it's so well done, and also it's made by this creator. He was working on the game with his father. His father passed before the game was completed, so he dedicated it to him. Really nice. Okay, we have Sworn. First played that in 2025. Sworn, it's on Xbox Game Pass, and if you like Hades or Hades 2, it's basically multiplayer Hades. It's really crazy, really fun. The only issue is that the performance was kind of off a little bit. When we first started playing, I would play it with Lou occasionally, and it would make his computer want to blow up. But his computer's better now, so we'll see. But very fun, very chaotic game with instead of like a Greek kind of pantheon, you're dealing with like Arthurian myths, and you're dealing with like it's Arthur who you have to go and fight, and you're dealing with all like more like Celtic spirits and things. So that's also cool. Let's see. Played Die in the Dungeon, which is like a little dice rolling game. Very fun. I'd give it like a C. Put it here. If you like dice rollers, it's basically like a chance game. Pretty cool. see what else did I play first. Cataclysmo. I've used some of their music. It's a really fun real-time strategy game. I'll put it in C though. I didn't finish it. A lot of the games like I don't end up finishing, I put them in C because it's like there's a reason I didn't finish these games. You know, there's like Cataclysmo though, it's a top-down like real-time strategy game. You're defending your fortress. A lot of great music I really liked. But yeah, we're going through these pretty quickly. I thought he said if you like the 80s and not like if you like Hades. I've been going through this pretty quickly, so let me know if there are any of these that you guys have any questions about or want to hear more about, or if you think any of these are any of these opinions are sacrilegious or anything like that. But let's see. I'm also trying not to include like I don't want to include every single game that I did. Some of them just weren't like worth bringing up. I did play the finals again. I always come back to that game every couple of months. If you're not familiar, the same people who did Arc Raiders, I would put this in A. They're like just one of the best shooter creators ever. The finals is a really fast-paced game. But it's just so creative, the amount of abilities and things that they have there. Let's see what else. I'm just gonna put Jackbox Party Pack. I'm just gonna put that in general as like an entry here, because we played a few of them. Those are always fun. The ones that have done zero are really good. Let's see what else. So no S tier so far. Ours are tough evaluator. What was the difference between S, B, S, A, and B? I was running the water when you started, so I didn't hear the explanation. Okay. So S tier is like undeniably one of the greatest games of all time. When we're done with the year, and we're gonna select from the ones who made it to A, and only a few from A will get the opportunity to make it to S. So we've got a lot of games still to go through. My goal is to then select from there and say, okay, we'll see which ones are S tier. But essentially, S is like greatest games of all time. A is like a game where I'm like, yeah, no great inflation here. A is like undeniably a good game I would recommend. You gotta go play it. B is like, this is a really good game. I enjoyed it. Like, I think it's good. It may have its flaws, but I still think it's a good game. C is like, these games aren't bad. Specifically, they could be fun if there are things you enjoy about those types. Like if you like real-time strategy, Cataclysmo is a really good real-time strategy game. If you like little random dice little games, Nero is S tier to put in our terms. Yeah. Like Sniper Elite, don't get me wrong, I still played like 35 hours of Sniper Elite just as a sniper hunting down other players. That part alone was like a level of fun that I was like, this is great. If I could keep doing this all the time and there were more maps and more things, I would do this all the time. So yeah, the C's are a little bit more like niche, where it's like I like them, you know, but they're like that. Everything from there up, I'd be like, undeniably gotta play. We're not going to include Dungeon Alchemist. Oh, Monster Train 2. Monster Train is a kind of like random deck builder with a kind of roguelike quality to it. I loved Monster Train 1. Did not like Monster Train 2 as much. It's a fun game. Nightbot, I need to report myself. What? It's funny. But it's a game you collect a deck of cards, you fight against monsters, you're protecting your train. They just made it way more focused for people who I think like were obsessed with the first ones, like the niche crowd, which is fine, but the second one was just so grindy. Anyways, Next we have Hades 2. I will put this in A tier, but I don't think it'll make it to S. Automod is reviewing my Nero related posts, and they're right to do so. Yeah, the Nero posts are the ones that are dangerous. Hades 2 is really good. Really, really good. It's an evolution on the first game. It evolves in ways you don't think you could have seen, or it's always one of those things where you're like, I want the game to be better. And it's like, what does better mean? I don't know. I just thought they would do something new. New like what? And it's always hard to know what that thing is you're looking for. Hades 2 has a lot of it. But I think in a way they did themselves a little bit of a disservice. Because I played this game quite a bit. Let me take a look here. I've played 56 hours of Hades. That's nothing to sneeze at, And I'm still not at the end. Like, I still feel like I need like 6 or 7 more playthroughs in order to get to the end. And I'm like, man, it's a good game, but now I feel like you're forcing me to play. You heard the 80s that time, to Hades 80s. Yeah, I need to enunciate better. But I still think it does so much, gives you so much. It's such a joy to play. It has so many mechanics to explore. I think it's an excellent, excellent game. Let's see, other games that were new. Man, May was apparently a new month. Well, also all these games were like $15 or something, which is how they get me, man. I tell you. Nordhold is a tower defense game. It's very fun. If you're not really into those, you're probably not going to like them. But very classic, hardcore, old school defense games. Super cool. I played Skin Deep, which was a weird one. You guys can see from just the image here. That was the one where you were like Die Hard on a spaceship. It was fun, but it got a little tired, a little fast. So that was cool. What else was here? I played Dune Awakening back in June. Just getting through the Steam portion, by the way. Then we'll get to the Xbox Game Pass portion. This was good. Man. Okay. Jackbox would be a C without that detective game. I love it. Yeah, I mean, Jackbox, they always have like the mix of like one super good game and one like okay game. You're like, oh, all right. Yeah, we'll ignore that one. EM has played more games this year than I have in my entire life. The thing is, like, and this is what I say before, like, I really do love video games. But I'm also like very like plugged in, like I listen to video game podcasts, video game shows. I like to learn about like the industry, what the publishers are doing, what games they're working on. Like for example, Arc Raiders is made by the same people who made the Finals. And originally they were going to make Arc Raiders first, but it got delayed. And so they came out with the Finals, and that became a good hit, bought them the financial security to move forward. But a lot of those same developers come from DICE, which is the developer of Battlefield. And the Battlefield series used to go head and head with Call of Duty as like the biggest shooter games. But a lot of people at DICE felt like creatively crushed, and they left and made their own studio. So my problem is that I always go back to Skyrim and Fallout. Yeah, going back to old games, it's an alluring siren, I tell you. Ricardo should go on that Dropout show actually about video games. No, because I think I'll get them like only like mostly right. Like I'll be like close, or I'll be like I know the sound that is similar to the name of that company, but I don't know the name of that company. But yeah, I really do love. I got to try One Piece Pirate Warriors. That was a gift from Martin, and that one was fun. I'll still put it at C. I didn't talk about Dune Awakening. Okay, Dune Awakening, a great survival game in the world of Dune. I think I mentioned before that like when I was playing this game, that like, it actually made me want to get into the world of Dune and learn about it. But as a survival game where you're like in the desert and the sun is your enemy, staying in the shadows was just such a fun experience. And you could tell the progression, but you just needed, um, you just tell the progression, like you just need to be constantly playing because over time your builds would degrade. Well, sometimes you just want a guaranteed good time. Yeah, I totally hear that too. That's um it's kind of what happens too is like sometimes I'm like there's a game that's like this is my game that I like I'm feeding on. Like, okay, this is the one. Like Arc Raiders for me, that was my game for like pretty much from October till now. Was like, oh, I've got like a free 40 minutes. Okay, I'll play a game of Arc Raiders. Like, some of these other games would fall into that for me. Like Dune was. Where Dune was like, I thought it was a good game. It had some issues. Wouldn't recommend it to everybody, but if you like Survivors, you might like it. Um, and then the One Piece Pirate Warriors. If you ever played Dynasty Warriors, those games are a lot of fun. They're like beat 'em ups. And as a One Piece fan, it was just fun to just beat Luffy and I'm gonna beat these. Let's see. Oh, Ember Ward. This is another fun tower defense game. I'm gonna put this one like at B next to Nord. Ember Ward. It's a fun little game. What's cool about it is you have tower defense, but you get these little Tetris like blocks, and you can put the blocks on the field and then shape the way that the enemy can approach so that you can control the battlefield that way. Really cool. Oh, the Bazaar. Oh man. Okay, it came out on Steam, but I did have it before that. I was playing it on stream before. This is going in A. Um, uh, like I rarely buy games not on sale anymore. So listen to everyone talk up Expedition 33 to the point that I bought it not on sale. It was a big deal. Yeah, no, I totally get that. I am constantly struggling between the like, oh, this thing is new. I want to see like what it's like. And then the other thing that gets me is like, oh, this thing's on sale. I want to see what it's like. So um this is why Game Pass is really good for me because like it allows me to experience multiple games without having to buy all of them. If I had to buy all these games at full price, I'd be broke. Um, the Bazaar was a good game. It was one I didn't expect to like so much. Um, but even just the Steam version, I think I have like 300 hours on. And the mobile version that they had before that, I think I had like another 200 hours. So much strategy, so fun. Just didn't expect to like it as much as I did. Yeah, that was a good one. Let's see. And we've got Megabonk. This is a survivor like, if you've ever played Vampire Survivors, except it's 3D. I played this on a stream once before. It's pretty fun. Put it at C. You know, if you like survivor likes, it's fun. I wouldn't spend like my whole life playing with it or anything like that, but it's good. We had Dying Light the Beast in there. I'm not including Dragon Ball Kikishin Squadra. That's just, yeah. And then we have Arc Raiders. I'll put this at A for now, but low A. Come back and we'll talk about that. And I also played Cross Blitz, which is like another deck builder game. This is really fun. I'll put that. Okay, I think we're almost done with my Steam stuff here. So now we can go to Game Pass. So Game Pass lets you, download these games or whatever. as part of like the monthly thing. So I'm just gonna start shooting through these that I got to try. And like I said, these are a lot of the games that I'm like, oh yeah. See, the thing with me is, I am a harsh critic, for sure. I still would play like everything in C. I would still probably put a significant amount of time up and like towards and up. There's still like, I haven't played any games I think so far that I was like, oh yeah, this was a failure. This was actually, hold on, let me relook at that again. Because did I? Um, I played like a cookie cutter game. It's not even worth mentioning. Was fun. I played a little bit of Heroes of Hammerwatch. I think that might be an F. Just it's like if it wanted to give you an MMORPG experience, like playing in an open world with a bunch of people, but you're the only person in this world, so it feels really lonely. But yeah. Let's see. Clover Pit. Got to try out. Basically like Balatro, but with gambling on a slot machine. Uh, Not as good. A lot to be worked on. Doing Fallout 4. I was looking at the list of games and seeing which ones I've played. Sworn. I didn't play Hollow Knight Silksong. I probably should play that. I played the Prince of Persia, the Rogue Prince of Persia. Pretty good. Side scroller, I'd still put it in C. Eno Princess. One of my favorite things is always that like there are games that come out and you're like, even for me, like as plugged in as I can be sometimes, it's like, whoa, no one was talking about this game. Where did this come from? Like Expedition 33. It's like even though people had like their lists, I don't know. They always just come out of nowhere. Let's see. Then Avowed Sleeper, a Citizen Sleeper. That one was really cool, especially for our campaign. Captured a lot of like the feelings of like being a spacer. We'll put it at C. Did not finish, just a little bit repetitive for me. Was Sifu this year? I think Sifu was this year. I'll put that at. Then that might have been all the games from this year. Because all these other ones, another Crab's Treasure was last year. Yeah, all this other stuff came out last. I didn't play this year. Two alters. Something else on Xbox. Probably was Expedition 33. Didn't play Dragon Age Veilguard. think that's everything. Okay, so we've got our list now. Let's see if we need to move anything around here. But I think this is everything I played this year. Um, so we'll go from the bottom, just make sure everything still fits in its place. Veilguard would be mid B tier. Yeah, nothing terrible. Blueprints is a good puzzle game. If you like puzzle games, I personally, there's something in F. Yeah, Heroes of Hammerwatch. Heroes of Hammerwatch is the one that's like, they set you up like be a ranger or rogue or wizard or fighter, like, you know, and then it's like you pick your class, good. There's not really levels. You just do like slightly more damage as you go on. There's not really like inter-party systems. There's some gear. There's not really a story or a map to travel. Like it's just like weird. I don't know. All of these are good to stay down here. Clover Pit I did spend a lot of time with, but I think overall the gameplay was more frustrating than it was fun or addictive. The slot machine aspect was too random. Balatro, you feel like you could control the game. Oh, even this other game I've been playing. Where's that at? I didn't even look at my own. When did I start Passant? Okay, I did start playing Passant in December, literally December 20th. This is another game that's like a roguelike game. I'll put it here. Basically, like you're playing chess, but you're playing chess with different rules. Like every time you take a piece, it explodes and destroys the other piece around there. Or every time you like move a piece on the field, it slides over. So those are pretty cool. Forgot the games actually have installed. We've got Peak. Peak is just such a fun game, doing what it's set out to do. Fun to play with different players and have fun with your friends. Good memories. I tried out Sons of the Forest with Catch a Cantrip crew. That was a very scary game. I would not play it again, but it was a good game. But I would not play it again. It was very scary. If you want to see, just like here's what this file would look like if it was more accurate. No. Yeah, that's everything. Okay. So a terribly designed game. Yeah, if something's terribly designed, then it's like, okay. Like I said, a lot of these in the C area, it's like they're fun for the thing that they're doing. I wouldn't spend like for a lot of the games that are higher up here, it's like I'd probably spend an unlimited amount of time playing these games. But I'm trying to see if any of them can move up or down. Monster Train was disappointing. Okay. Dune actually I think could move up. It did a lot of really good things with the genre. Prince of Persia, Citizen Sleeper. I think everything else belongs here. It's harsh because Metaphor I think would be higher up if I finished the game, but that's okay. Our B section, we have Helldivers, Crossblitz, Jackbox, Dying Light. Any of these don't belong in B, or could go to A. Sifu was really good, but I didn't dive into it as much as I want. I think Ember Ward. Maybe a game for fun, but I'm not sure. I think we'll keep it in B. There are certain things about it. Okay, so now we've got our top players here. A. Gotta finish this soon. Stream soon. Okay, Expedition 33, The Finals, Hades 2, The Bazaar, and Arc Raiders. Expedition 33, what hasn't been said about this game? Super good, incredible. I'm hesitant to return to it, and I'm worried that like part of me is gonna find that I feel differently about it after time has passed. I don't think that'll be the case. Um, there were a few things I didn't like about the game. Specifically, there was side content that felt like it was actually necessary to understand the main plot fully. But if you did that side content, you would definitely be too high level to do the main story and feel satisfaction from it. That's really the only slip up I could say of almost the entire game. That, and that while it does take these big narrative swings, which are good, they're good because they land pretty well. I think that I would also not fault somebody for saying these are not at all the character motivations or even really the characters who I started this story with, and I've kind of been like had the rug pulled out from under me, and now we're doing this story, which is also happens to be really good, but it's still a rug pull, and I can see that not landing with some people, or even landing badly with some people. But overall, I really like the game. Just that one little thing would keep me thinking about it. The Finals, one of the best shooting games ever. You have light, medium, and heavy classes. They all do such different things. As a light class, you can speed around, zip lining, turning invisible. As a heavy, you can place turrets, place shields, break through walls. The environment is so destructible. Being able to play a shooting game where a person can get cover and I can throw a grenade and destroy the cover, but also a game where the destruction is part of the game and its design, incredible. Hades 2, I already talked about. It's kind of crazy that they were able to expand upon an already incredible game. I just think certain pacing things need to be squared away. The Bazaar, another great. I think it's technically like an idle battler, but a great game, great strategy game. Spent a lot of time on that game. Didn't think I would like it. My only issues with that one are the way that the monetization works, where it's like if a new character comes out, you have to pay for that new character because that new character has new items and meta and all that stuff. That's the only part that like kind of like gets me. But then we have Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders, again, it's kind of wild that two games from the same developers are up here for me. Unless this was like a Dark Souls like year or something like that, it'd be very rare for me to feel that way. But Arc Raiders is an incredibly great game, incredibly great shooter, lots of fun. What keeps me hesitant and in its A spot here is that it is a live service game. And I'm always more hesitant about these kinds of games, and especially the state that it's in. The Finals is a fun shooter, and I think like even if servers went down, there weren't as many people playing, even if there were just private matches happening, the level of fun that you have in each of those matches is so high. In Arc Raiders, it's so determined based on the people who are playing. 6 months from now, is the culture still going to be the same in the game? Are people going to shoot each other on sight, or are they going to be willing to be more friendly? In a year from now, is there going to be a change that occurs that makes it so that people are now more like hungry and grubby and want to like shoot each other on sight? There's too much in the air, and I always hesitate on games. 10 years from now, we could pick up Expedition 33, we would get the experience, we would understand the story, and not much would change. 10 years from now, Arc Raiders servers may not even be online, and that game might not even be able to play anymore, which is just the sad state of how games work these days. But also, as fun as it is, there's no story, and that a story can go a huge way towards making a game much better, because games are kind of given like a kind of pass when it comes to storytelling. A lot of times, if it's a serviceable story and the mechanics are good, nobody really cares. But having no story to engage with, I also think can keep a game from reaching the highest peaks. So I'll put Expedition 33 here as our S tier. I don't think anything else can really fight against it to be S tier. But yeah, I'd have to say that was probably the best game of last year. So I think that's the full list. Yeah, Expedition on top. Here's our 4 A ranks, which feels about right. And I think the spread is also about right too when you look at the bell curve here. So that's good. I'm happy with that. But overall, like I said, I love. I love how it can be different forms of expression, different vehicles to transport you through a story, but also can make you feel such a huge variety of things. Whether it's like the wonder of being able to play as like your childhood superheroes, the fantasy of being, you know, a survivor in a zombie apocalypse, or whether it's just playing an old classic side-scroll beat 'em up game, just beating down enemies. And of course, finding some games that don't work for you and discovering what you don't like is also important. Kind of knowing like, oh, it missed the mark, and it could have been better if it was, you know, X, Y, Z. Put Minecraft. I did not play Minecraft at all this year, Nacho. So, Minecraft doesn't go up here. We'll see how next year's rank go. Game I played. Well, we played this game in the PlayStation. That's why. Split, not Split Gate, Split Fiction. Where was that one? Because that one is a good one. Yeah, sorry, kiddo. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're missing one more game. I played this one with Notch. This is the one I thought Splitgate was. I played this one with Notch a little bit. We still gotta finish. But Split Fiction is a co-op game. I'm gonna put it at B. Basically, you play as one of 2 writers, and you're meant to play side by side. So it's a lot of fun to play. Like, oh, session at 8, session at 9. No, it should be session at 9, right? Oh no, maybe I was wrong. All right, y'all. I'll head out then. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Oh,